What up, folks? This your boy Dino, aka your Solid 5.
And Barry creeping it real.
And
And we
we
are
are the
the
Boo
Boo
Crew. So
Crew.
stupid.
Yeah.
We are doing Terrifier 2 this week.
2022, directed by my man, Damian Leon, who is also, of course, who is also responsible for Terrifier 1, 2, and 3.
And probably the fourth, I'm assuming, eventually.
Probably the fourth, yeah. The fourth one comes out. It says next year, it says like October of next year.
The final one, apparently.
Is that what it's going to be the final one? You're finally going to take him
I
down?
think so. I think so. Or at least the final one of art. Like the guy playing his art. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, the final chapter.
There's been whispers in the sky, in the whispers in the wind.
I can't imagine how outrageous the fourth one's gonna be.
They top it off every movie, dude. So we'll see.
It's just gonna be like no story and it's like all killing.
I know, right? I'm okay with that. Um, so we start off right after the first one.
Yeah.
Basically, it starts off like a dirty downtown-ish area. Um, there is a teenager spraying on the walls. I didn't see what it said.
Mhm.
Um, and then we open with the coroner crawling away after Art wakes up and attacks him from the first movie.
Yeah.
And Art's kind of messing with his food, right? He's just kind of stalking him and shit. And the coroner's trying to use a phone, and right as that happens,
Yeah, it's trying to call
he's
the cops.
trying to call the cops, and like Art's like kind of like playing with his head because he's like, confused that he got shot. He's like poking at him and shit,
Yeah.
which
He's
is
like, what
pretty
the hell?
funny. He's like, "Oh, I'm alive. What the hell?"
Yeah,
Um,
blew his brains out. Forgot about that moment.
he's like poking at it and shit. Yeah,
That's what Art gets like the tiniest hammer in the fucking in the medical facility
it's like for
and beats
bones,
him
right?
with it, dude.
Yeah,
He
it's like
beats
for
the shit
bones,
out
right?
of him
Like
with it.
chisel bones and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those medical hammers. It's like super tiny. It's like,
But that's what makes it funny though, because it's
yeah,
like, what the fuck, you know?
yeah. It pops
Um,
him in the head. He's all pop. No, first he takes the phone out of his hand ever so gently and hangs it up, and then he fucking pops him with the hammer in his head.
and then he digs out his eyeballs, right?
Yeah, then he fucking puts it in his, and he fucking does like a fucking crazy ass pose. It's like a fucking,
I love art, dude. Art's crazy.
I
Uh,
know.
I think eye
He's
for an
always
eye.
he's always in a good mood.
Yeah, he's like, "Ta-da!" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And he keeps smashing him. It's just funny how like there's a scene where like it's a post like killing of him like walking down the alleyway.
Dally. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the cops are like driving by and they don't see a fucking like,
No
demonic
fucking way,
clown.
dude. No, no way the cops would fucking miss that. Like fucking, like he's like right there too. It's like how the hell you gonna miss this
It's
tall ass? This
super
guy's like
close.
6'5", dude. This guy's like 6'5",
Yeah,
maybe 6'6", and he's wearing a white fucking black clown suit. He's covered in blood, and it's like you drove right by this motherfucker.
yeah, like nothing. And then he's back to the corner again. It's been like,
He's all these, he's
torturing him.
all, he's all these New Jersey cops are slow.
He rips out his brain, right?
Yeah, he rips his brain out.
Then takes his wallet. Um,
Yeah, takes all of his shit.
yeah. Leaves with his bag. Then we get the scene to the laundromat. He walks into the laundromat.
Yep.
There's a guy just sitting there sleeping, waiting for his
Yeah,
clothes or whatever.
regular old Joe.
Yeah, just reading the paper. Or no, he's not even reading the paper. He's just chilling, snoring basically.
He's snoring. Yeah,
So
fucking Art's reading the paper, isn't he?
yeah, but he like strips down naked to wash his clothes,
Yeah.
which is crazy because it's like he just goes butt naked and like fucking
Fuck.
just like washes his
He's got
clothes. Yeah,
he's full commando into there.
that's when he finally reads the paper, and that's when we get introduced to the clown girl.
Yeah, his little demon sister.
Yeah, he's like so. Is is she like supposed to be real, or is it like a figment of her imagination, or his imagination, or what?
I think she's real
Okay, because like, but not
because
everybody can see her though.
the boy sees her.
Yeah.
and and
Yeah,
and Serena Caesar.
Sienna.
Sienna, yeah.
Yeah.
Sienna, Serena, tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Um, I'm not saying because like she wants to be seen when she wants to be seen.
Yeah, but I
You
think
know?
she's real. I think
Okay,
I just think she's just like another form of a demon.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean that makes sense because like what we see at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So as he's washing the clothes, he's like kind of playing with the clown girl.
yeah,
They're like
the
when
pimp
he
patty
like is
cake.
yeah, so he's like telling her like, oh, I got shot in the head. And he's like, I mean, he doesn't tell her, but he's like, doing his like
First,
movements,
yeah, first
charades.
she has like a major period meltdown and fucking like she just like straight up shoots out fucking vagina blood
Oh
all
yeah,
over the
yeah.
fucking floor.
And he's like laughing.
He's like, yeah, he's confused. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
He's like, you
He's
sent that
never,
to me.
he's like, I've never seen the period before, dude. He's like, I don't know what this is.
And
He's all, is this
yeah,
funny? He's all, is this funny?
yeah. At first he's all confused, but then he starts to love it though. He's like, you know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
and then he plays like charades of like how he got shot in the head, and he's like, it's like a hole,
yeah,
kind of thing. Um, and then they play patty cake, which was kind of funny, and then the uh the dude wakes up and he sees Art doing patty cake with nothing,
yeah. He wakes up.
and then
Art zips up his shit and
yeah, he
fucking
gets ready, he
mops up
walks
the
out.
floor. Mops
Yeah,
up the floor, and then and then he drops the mop, and you see it's like half a stick, and then when he walks out, then fucking the guy who was sleeping has a fucking the other half jammed into his throat or his mouth through his throat, one or the
it's
other.
like up through his head basically,
Yeah, yeah,
which is funny because like he mopped everything else, but like I'm sure there's probably a bloodbath underneath him.
yeah, definitely.
Uh,
And then
interesting.
that's when we get our shot of the Terrifier 2 title screen.
Yeah, so very tasteful. You know, I so far so
Starts off
good.
starts off strong.
Yeah, I mean, all of these movies did.
Yeah,
I think.
they did.
I don't remember the third one that much, but um,
I'm about to watch that shit tonight.
yeah, we're for sure
For
gonna talk
Well,
about that.
I'm gonna watch it with my friend tonight, so I need to watch it at least like two more times. Because the last time I seen the third one is when it came out in theaters. So it was like what 2 years ago? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
So and then it cuts right after the credits. It cuts to Sienna making her costume.
with like the
Uh,
craziest, softest techno music.
I don't remember the music, but yeah,
The
she was playing
music,
the settings and shit.
the music reminded me of fucking the song from the movie Fright Night, where it's all.
Mm, I don't remember.
It's hella soft. It's like soft ass techno music. It's like sexy techno.
That's little sexy difference. Yeah.
Sexy techno music.
Like when you gotta get along, but you want to party at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so as she's like, making her shit, she eventually goes to the kitchen as her mom's cooking, or she's on the phone doing whatever. And
Yeah,
as she's trying to like get in a little snack, the mom smacks her hand and she's like, "Go get your brother," whatever.
yeah.
Um,
Jonathan.
Jonathan, yeah, little
Look at
Jonathan,
Jonathan.
the little shit.
Go
Um,
get him.
yeah.
The
So dinner scene,
mom annoys
right?
me. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I
that made,
mean, to be fair, she's a single mom, you know.
she's just a fucking asshole.
I
She
know, I'm
is.
some kissing their kids, yeah.
Fucking with it. Her Barbara. Fucking if you hear someone named Barbara, they gotta be a bitch, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of barbers.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met a cool barber.
Nope. Now maybe. Who knows? I've never met one.
Yeah. It's like me and
If you're
Karen
out
is
there,
like, I don't think I've
if
ever
you're
met
out
a
there,
cool Karen.
yeah, if you're out there, cool Barbara, and you're listening to us, please leave a comment.
Honestly, you're cool and not a fucking shithead.
We're gonna get like a fucking mean ass comment from someone named
Yeah,
Barbara.
right.
Watch.
We got like a fucking
Fuck
wave
you
of
guys.
Barbers.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Arbor Nation. Oh man,
But
I
yeah,
gotta make
that's
that into a clip.
but yeah, that's when they're having dinner now as a family. That's when Jonathan fucking they figure out, oh, Jonathan wants to be the Miles County clown killer or something. That's what they call him, right? They don't call him Artemis. They call him like the Miles County killer.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what? He wants to be the, and then his mom's like, that's offensive. You
Well,
know,
yeah, because like Sienna brings up, she's like, "Do you ever wonder about Jonathan? Because I caught him looking at serial killers and stuff like that, and he's
that's
like
after
obsessed with all this stuff."
that's after he leaves the room.
Oh right, yeah, really good to talk about. And she like doesn't want him to dress up as Art, right? The mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then that's when Jonathan takes off and she's like, oh blah blah. And he's upstairs looking at all the murders from Terrifier 1.
yeah, yeah. There's like a bunch of articles and shit that he's like looking on online. Mm. Uh,
Yeah.
so
And
then
oh
there's
and also during that, that's when Serena mentions to her mom that she's going to a Halloween party with Allie and Brooke.
Allie and Brooke, yeah,
Yeah. And then Jonathan's looking at all the killings because it's happening like at the same time.
right. And the mom's like, she's okay with Allie, but she doesn't like Brooke, right?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I know the biggest concern for mom is like, don't get drunk.
yeah. She's like, oh, she's like, I know you're gonna get fucked up and blah blah blah.
Because how old
Apparently,
are these? Is she supposed to be 17?
um,
It's hard
I
to
think,
tell.
yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't know because, yeah, I don't
It
know.
really is. It really is because they don't look fucking 17. They look older. You
Yeah,
know,
this
but
early
but
20s.
but at the same time, it's like these kids are in high school, right?
Yeah,
So it makes me wonder what's really going on in this little town. But we'll get to that later.
yeah,
But yeah, that's
yeah. I
yeah.
can tell.
I believe it's supposed to be in high school. So
Yeah.
underage
No, for sure.
underage drinking is really popular here.
Just in high school in general. The mom brings up how like Brooke was like when she was younger, she was like, "Well, you remember the time when like she's like you don't have anything to talk about because remember the time your father took you fishing and you were like cutting off all the heads of the mackerel and like for no reason." She's
Yeah.
like, and Sienna's like, "Well, I was young, I didn't know any better." She's like, "No, you should have known better." But you were doing it.
Which during this whole conversation too is when you start to realize like their father's dead they talk about
Yeah,
since he lost his dad, it's like, oh, okay, the dad's dead, so we kind of get it now,
yeah.
trauma based.
Well, because remember, Santa was like, "Oh, like eventually, just be careful, like, or don't get concerned when Jonathan starts bringing up or bringing back a bunch of dead animals and shit like that." And that's why the
Yeah,
mom's like, "Well, what about all those fish and slaves you cut off back in the day?" And she's like, "Well,
yeah.
that's different."
It's the
It's
same
like,
thing,
yeah,
motherfucker.
it's like, not really.
So just
Uh,
because you did it.
so they have their little conversation. She goes back to her outfit,
Yeah,
making
working
her
on her
outfit. Yeah,
costume. And then Jonathan comes in and he's like, I need some, what did he say? I need some tape?
super glue.
Super glue? Yeah, because he's making
Yeah,
this little art hat.
yeah. The string like popped off on the hat, so.
Yeah. And she showed him some brotherly love and gave him some anyway.
Yeah.
She's like,
She's
you
like, I got a
still
little
gonna
bit.
wear that? She's like, you still gonna make that thing? And he's like, what are you talking about? I never said I wasn't. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's like,
You assumed.
just because you guys teamed up on me.
Yeah. Like I'm still in it.
Yeah. The Miles
Um,
County Clown. That's what they call him. The Miles County Clown.
yeah. Um, and then they look at the father's book, right? Is that what it is?
First,
Oh no,
Jonathan
no, no.
picks up
The design. They talk about her inspiration for her outfit was because of the father's design.
some shit like that. And then Jonathan's like playing with the sword at the same time.
Yeah, and then right after that it cuts to Sienna watching some kind of horror film, like in
Yeah.
bed.
No, she's like changing channels. And she's
Well, yeah.
fucking
At first it starts off as a horror film, and then she switches it to the clown show. Um, I wrote it down. What is it called? Clown
she
Cafe.
falls was that a real fucking show or is that just like something she fell asleep and it happened? because it
I think
never
I think it was a real show, like a kid show, and then it fucking like, and then she
turned into
passed out.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's why she dreamt it because that was the last thing she saw.
I fucking love that song, dude. Drop on by the Clown Cafe. It goes drop on. Hold on, I wrote it down. I can't sing it. I'm laughing too fucking much. It goes drop on by the Clown Cafe. Your favorite meals on wheels. The Mills is disgusting and it's full of special deals. Nothing
Maybe
good, nothing here is good for you. So grab yourself a tray because food's a little funny at the Clown Cafe. Drop
cafe.
on by the Clown Cafe. Drop on by the Clown Cafe.
So funny when I'm singing because I'm just like, you can't
dude,
see my expression.
dude. So like, I will I try to look for this song on Apple Music, and I
Yeah.
found the Terrifier 1 soundtrack, and I found the Terrifier 2 soundtrack, and I found the Terrifier 3 soundtrack.
Did you try
And
YouTube?
I looked on Reddit. Yeah, no, I mean to download the fucking song,
Okay,
not to
yeah,
watch the video. I looked on Reddit, and there was a lot of questions about where can you find this fucking song, you know? And
yeah.
someone had a comment said, "Is it on Spotify?" And I was like, "Let me go check Spotify," and it's on fucking Spotify.
Okay.
So fucking, I found it. I put a like on
Well,
it, so now I can
so
play
the
it when I'm
girl that
driving.
sings that song in the movie, she's in a band also.
Is she?
And, yeah, I think I forgot what the band's called, but I think they probably own the rights to that.
Maybe because on Spotify, the title of the song is called Clown Cafe, but the artist it says Terrifier
Okay. Well,
in big
yeah.
in capital letters. But I found it. Fuck it. Now I can bump that shit when I'm driving.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna use it as a clip. I'm all dancing to it and shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Uh,
That sounds
I'm
shit.
getting it, boy. You don't need to. No.
I hum it to myself when I'm going to bed.
Fucking dream. You have
It's
a
a nice.
Clown Cafe dream.
I'm gonna buy a one of those little night lights, and I'm gonna program that song to it when it plays, and it puts the little clowns up in my room.
Hell yeah.
That'll be off the hook.
That's
But
my
yeah,
idea.
so that's when fucking Serena ends up waking up in the fucking cast of the Clown Cafe,
Yeah.
which is a whole
Um,
bunch of adult kids. So I was like, more adult teenagers. I
Well,
was like, look,
that song's fucking crazy because she's like, "Welcome to the twisted world of whatever." She's like, she's saying a bunch of crazy shit already.
she says hell shit.
Yeah, and which alludes to her introducing Art the Clown, and he pops up in the Clown Cafe truck,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
like a taco truck kind of thing.
coming out. He had
Um,
his like a little taco truck.
which there is coffee shops that do have that. Like it's a design that looks kind of like a coffee shop, a taco truck.
Yeah.
There's like one in Oakland by the Mary what's that lake called? Lake Marriott.
Mm.
There's a coffee shop that's like right around the corner from it. That it kind of looks like a taco truck, but it's like attached to a building at the same time. It's weird.
Looks like a
But
little trailer.
yeah, I used to go there when I used to go visit my kid and we would go walk the lake and shit. So but I would get coffee first thing in the morning. And then
Dude,
we
hold
would
on.
just walk the lake.
Now that we're talking about food trucks so fast, do you remember in I don't know if they still do it, but in San Francisco they used to do that fucking. It was like once a month, and it was like a random pop up of like all these food trucks in one fucking area.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do they
Uh
still do that? I
I
forgot what it
don't
was
think so.
called.
I think I think there's like nowadays there's too many like regulations on stuff like that. I
Yeah,
think they got rid of it, but there are like they're trying to do like buildings to where like they'll do that in a building instead.
yeah,
So like they'll like rent the space for the day or whatever, and like and then that's when they'll have like a an array of fucking different vendors and stuff.
yeah.
So I don't
I
think
miss that.
yeah I know yeah, I did think about that though like at certain places. Yeah,
Okay.
as she introduces Art, he's all like doing his thing and whatever, and then he goes onto his little mini bike like on the first one, and
Yeah.
honking the horn and shit, and
Oh, the fucking there's that nun. That nun always cracks me up. She's all feed this man. And it was like a homeless dude with a sign that says "Feed me," and,
yeah,
and she's all feed this man. And I always start laughing because it's just so funny the way she says it. Why
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
you feed this man? He's hungry. And
I
it's
didn't write what she was saying, but yeah, I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Yeah. That's the weird
it's
thing
all,
about these movies, though. That there's always like a weird, like, in like a cameo thing, you know?
dude. For some reason, in the crowd of people, there's a air pilot. he's, he's like he's like wearing a fucking pilot suit, and I was like, what the hell is he
Yeah.
doing there? I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Well,
I
that,
was
that
like,
that reminds me of like All Hallows Eve when there was like the witch that was in the fucking Satan, you know, the thing, and I was like, remember how you were
yeah,
like, what the fuck is she doing there? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What the fuck?
So
I'm supposed to just
I mean,
grab the
it's
lunch.
a dream. It's supposed to be crazy, right? So
I was like, what the hell plane is he flying over here?
so Art goes to each kid and gives them a treat. Um,
Yeah,
with a
shoving fucking lollipop,
yeah,
fucking caramel corn, popcorn, and fucking. He gets that
yeah,
chicken
the
box.
candy apple, the popcorn, and something else. Forgot.
It was a lollipop,
Yeah, the first one was a lollipop, and then the candy apple,
and then
popcorn, and then
popcorn, and then he gives her, and then that's it. I think he gives her. I think he gives fucking Serena that box.
yeah, it gives her the box, and she's reluctant to open it at first, but he's like very insistent. He's like pushing it in her
Yeah,
face. He's like, "Come
yeah,
on,
yeah. Take this
yeah,
shit.
yeah, come on, been doing that all day."
He's like, I got this for you. Let's be
He's like, "Come
polite.
on, come on." Yes.
Yeah.
I
And then
love,
there's
yeah,
like,
I love his expressions, dude. He has the best expressions.
and then there's a kid eating a bowl of Art Krispies. It's all, delicious Art Krispies with razor blades and cockroaches and glass.
In
And the
glass,
kid's all,
yeah.
yeah, the kid's all yummy. He's all eating it.
So finally she opens it, and it's just like so there's a heart in there, and there's like a bunch of like black liquid, which I'm assuming is blood.
Yeah,
And then there's like worms and shit, and like bugs like kind of crawling up from it.
yeah.
So it's pretty gross and like
And then at the same time as she's like looking at it, Art's over there digging in his bag like he's gonna bring out a big present for everybody, and he's all making little faces. He's all, oh, he's all, one more second. And he's like all digging. Ah!
oh, this movie's great.
And then he fucking straight up busts out a Tommy gun. He fucking just starts going off on
Oh,
everybody in this fucking cafe, dude. Which is like, I love the, I like, I like the scenes where he pulls out guns because the way they did the scene, like it's like quick shots.
Yeah,
You know, like remember in Terrifier 1, before he blows his head off, it's a quick shot of him with a gun, doom, and it's a freeze.
yeah,
And
yeah,
same like when he pulls out the Tommy gun, it's a quick shot and it's a freeze. And he just fucking, I love the way they do
yeah,
those
yeah.
scenes. But he's rattling this kid's down like he's Dick Tracy.
I even love the scene where he shoots their face and like the face is just like
Oh
fucking
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Girls are just
God.
taking it. They're just how taking
uh,
it.
I love the effects on all of these movies. Like
I, yeah.
the gore in all these movies are so well done. It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god. It's awesome. It's awesome. But there's just, like I'll it makes me laugh so bad because like I don't know, I just think Flash is funny to me. But especially when they're just standing there and they're just like
Taking it, yeah. Like, don't you think he would have like saw the gun, and, like especially from like the furthest away? You'd be like,
these,
"Man, run!" You just stand there.
yeah. Oh shit, he's shooting everybody. That's not a toy.
Which brings us to a point later on in the film that we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So that we have another good shot, but we'll talk about that later.
That's not a toy.
is,
That's not a Nerf gun.
is it a bang flag that's going to come out? Like, what's going on? Yeah. So he lights everybody up, and then Sienna also catches a stray in her leg.
Does she get shot?
Yeah, she gets shot in the leg.
Okay. That's what
Yeah,
I was trying
so
to realize.
that's why she's like crawling away and shit later on.
Yeah, because I was like, that's what I was trying to realize. Like, did she get shot? Or did she just fall off the fucking thing?
He
But
gets
she got
shot and then
shot.
she falls off. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they all get lit up, and
And she starts crawling over to the cereal
the kid.
box because
Yeah, to the kid.
they mentioned earlier that every box has a surprise, and so she's crawling over to the cereal box to go get the fucking surprise.
Yeah, she's
And
trying to dig in there, but she's like getting cut up from the glass and the blades and everything, all that
yeah,
shit.
but before she starts digging in it, Art goes back to his bag and he pulls out a flamethrower and he burns up that banjo lady.
Oh yeah, just to keep
And then
singing.
she keeps playing the banjo and then he starts dancing. He's all dancing with her as she's burning up.
Yeah, man, I love it. Well, yeah, she's
And
burning up and she's still singing at the same time.
She's not singing anymore.
I thought
She's
she did it first until the next scene. She's like stopped.
as soon as she gets burned, she's just playing the banjo. That's
Okay.
all she's doing. It's all din din din. And he's just dancing with her, and then and then and then she's digging in the box. That's when Art starts to fucking realize, oh shit, she's gotta fucking do something.
Is that when they show the kid's dead too?
Yeah, the kid's dead. Yeah, and
Yeah,
blood's
he's
coming out of his mouth.
out of his mouth. Yeah.
Tim, fucking from indulging in the Art Krispies.
Yeah. I wonder if
Glut-
I wonder if
Gluttony.
yeah, right, I know. I wonder if they had to like dumb it down because like as a kid, like um and it's a more bigger produced movie.
I don't know, dude. I mean, in the third one, they blew up a mall full of kids.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Maybe the parents don't want the kid to get like too like, on screen or what I don't know. Because remember he only ate the shit and he died. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
it
that
doesn't
like
show.
crazy.
It doesn't show him die. It's just like he's like he eats it,
Yeah.
it goes away, and then now he's dead
I
with
wonder if
blood.
like the parents were like, "Oh, let's not do that,"
Because
maybe.
remember in the third one, it shows kids getting blown up, full of like they're fucking flying through the air. They're
Yeah,
fucking,
in the first one they had like the kids' clothes and shit, and yeah.
yeah.
Or not the first one, but the All Hallows Eve. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if it was like a contract thing or something for like the parents or some shit. I was
She's
just
like
curious
just
about that.
she's like, I need you guys to just kill my son off as fast as you can, okay? Don't
And
show
and
it.
yeah, and like not so gruesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't want
would be
my
like,
kid
this
to be
could be
scared.
good.
He's like, the kid's all, oh, mom.
Yeah. You want to
He's all
blow it,
pissed.
mom? Come on.
Come on, mom.
Where's the finger gun?
I want some good. I want some bullets.
Yeah.
He's all ready.
It's still,
He's all, I got my bullet shirt on. I'm ready to go.
it's still, yeah. I'm waiting for that blood to splatter. Um, yeah, so he lights everybody up on fire to try to get the fucking the prize out of the box,
Yeah.
which he eventually does, and it's her sword, the one that she has with her outfit.
Yep.
And right as he's about to light her up, she blocks the fire with the sword, and that's when she wakes up from her nightmare.
And then as soon as she wakes up, fucking her fucking costume fucking just spontaneously combusts from the dream.
Yeah, because does
She
it show
because
if
she
she had her candle on? It was on, wasn't it? Like she
what?
swears her candle was lit on the.
No, it was off.
It was on. Okay, because I
Yeah.
thought it was on. All right.
No, fucking as soon as she blocked the fire from her sword, it lit up her fucking costume.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
All
So
right.
which kind of like makes you think like, okay, so like I start asking too many questions. This is my fucking crazy brain. But fucking like it's like, so what is art, dude? It's like fucking like now like if he's that powerful in the dream state, then fucking he's like in real life, it's like what the fuck is this fucking dude?
Right.
For him to cause that kind of reaction.
Let me
Pretty
rephrase
cool.
that for you. What is art?
Exactly. That's it. That's the question I'm looking for.
That's another clip for you. No.
Yeah. What the
uh,
fuck is he?
yeah. So it's really tough. What like how much power does he have? In the dream world and not and whatever. Because but
What's
she
his
woke up fine
yeah?
though. So this I don't know. It's weird. Um,
What is his true presence?
yeah. Well, we know he's not a person, so
Yeah, he's something.
he's something, just like me. No.
So
um,
fucking that shit blows up. The mom fucking kicks them all down. They have another family meeting.
right. Yeah. And the mom's like fucking just yelling at her the whole time. She's pissed.
This is
Which
when the,
obviously,
this is when the mom's fucking her true colors start to come out. This is where you can tell like this is how she truly feels about her kids now. She
yeah.
feels like she feels like she's burdened. They're not doing good. Like she just does not want to be a fucking mom. She's like, I'm fucking. This is enough. Jonathan's eavesdropping. Get the fuck upstairs. He's like, what? Oh, she's like, you go to school tomorrow. I'm going to school. She's like, your room didn't burn on
Yeah.
fire.
And then Art's building shit. Is that what's happening in the next part? No, no, no.
Then,
So mom's pissed. John, he like starts eating the cereal, and that's when you see Sienna like she sees the clown in the box, and that's when she has a flashback of the dream. Um, and then what's happening next?
Art's making weapons.
Yeah, that's when he's making weapons.
He's
Yeah.
making weapons, and his little demon sister.
Oh, she plugs in the TV, right?
Yeah, and then on the TV is Victoria's interview with Monica Brown.
Right.
And the Art's laughing, and then that's when Victoria says, "Oh, he's dead. I watched him," and then he kicks the TV. We get that kick the TV scene in fucking what? Is that the first one, or is that happening in the beginning of the second one? No, the beginning of this one, he's walking through the alley.
Yeah.
So in the first movie, is it the beginning he kicks the fucking TV and he breaks it?
I don't
There's
remember.
a there's another scene where he does that before this, and
Oh,
this is the
it might have been him watching the interview when he's alive though.
because he kicks the TV in the same way.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking interview of fucking Monica Brown.
It's like
So
haunting
during
him.
so during so I'm just is Monica Brown's interview going on during Terrifier 2 as he's going after
Yeah, because it's like the next day
Sienna?
or something like that. It's like it happens like right after.
Mhm.
It's like within like a day or two.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because at the end of Terrifier 1, he's in the morgue and she gets released from fucking the hospital. And then they're like, good luck on your interview tomorrow. And now he's doing
Yeah,
this. So, yeah.
right.
He moves
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
he,
Well,
he,
he's
he, wastes, he wastes
he's
no
like
time.
Michael Myers, or he's the shape. He just kind of comes
Yeah.
in and out, right? So
He's wasted no time, dude, on his mission.
he's he's pissed at the world, dude.
And then he kicks the TV, it breaks, and now we're in high school.
Yeah, and that's
Jonathan's high,
when
Jonathan and his sister's high school.
right, and that's when the kids are playing outside, right, with the possum.
Yeah, the dead possum. Yeah, and then they call over. Hey, let's go show Stephanie. And Stephanie's like, "What is it?"
Yeah,
Fucking,
so
it's a
Stephanie freaks out.
yeah. And then fucking this teacher comes and just assaults these kids.
You know who that teacher is?
Who?
That is Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp.
Really?
Yeah, that's the one that
The original Sleepaway Camp?
yeah, the original.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so she makes a cameo in this movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not know that. Good eye. Good
I
eye.
only know because I follow her on Instagram, and I started like, oh
Oh,
yeah, I forgot she's
I'm
on
like,
there.
well, whatever. You caught it. Good job. But
Uh,
fucking when she, there's no way in hell a teacher would grab kids like that though.
oh, I know.
Those kids, that teacher would have got sued, dude. That teacher would have got fired. That would have been her last teaching fucking job in her
Well,
life,
at
right
least not these days, but back in the days, you could.
there. Yeah,
Dude,
but still,
there was one time in class, my buddy was like being a shit, he's in the middle of being a shithead, right? And the teacher at the time like walked up behind him and smacked the shit out of his head.
wow.
Dude,
Yeah,
the entire class were laughing hard.
that's fucking crazy. Yeah, when I watched this scene, I was like, fire this chick. I was like, fucking, someone report her. She's like, get back in school. She like just grabs him. I'm like, what the hell?
Just fucking grabs him like a pissed off 70s dad, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
so
no boundaries.
she switches him back into the school. She makes the other guy like she sends the other two, but she makes the other kid like go look for the whatever the fucking custodian or whatever to like clean it up.
The janitor.
Janitor, yeah. Custodian
What?
Nick, come on now. No.
Go find Charlie. So that's Charlie. That's Charlie work.
Then what's going on?
Jonathan's back in the class and he feels bad about Stephanie.
He's like staring at her like with his longing eyes.
Yeah, and the fucking the teacher's like, look at your own test. He's all like, he's not even cheating. Poor guy.
Poor Jonathan just getting yelled at everybody
Yeah. And that's when he asks for a bathroom pad. He's like, I go to the bathroom, and he takes off, and then he runs into
with a
the
giant fucking like excused block.
yeah. That's how it used to be, dude. I
Yeah,
remember carrying a fucking big ass fucking bathroom pass fucking when I was in fucking school.
we had like a giant like laminated one,
Yeah, this shit was a
but his like a
bitch.
big old block.
You had to like hang it up too if you take a piss. It's
Yeah,
like fucking
looking like Flavor Flav and shit.
yeah, bling bling.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, fucking like yeah, boy.
Low can you go?
Like it's the flavor of love right there.
So as he finishes up, he walks back, and as he's kind of crossing over a certain hallway, he sees Art and the clown girl fucking
Yeah,
playing with the possum, and Art is like digging out the guts and shit and just having a fucking blast.
yeah.
He's having the time of his life, just just laughing and shit, and
He's playing. He's enjoying his life. He's living his life, dude.
he's living his best life.
Yeah, he is. He truly is.
He
He's
really
like,
is, yeah.
and then Jonathan fucking gets freaked out and drops his hall pass, and
Yeah.
of course, it's like a piece of 2x4, so it makes a big ass
It's like
fucking
saying
sound in
it's
the
a
hallway.
giant, a giant box. So
it's a it's a slap, and then fucking they look up and see him. They look up and see him, and they fucking throw the possum right out of his arms, and he fucking books it.
he books it, yeah, he got blood all over him and shit.
Yeah, and the fucking that assaulting teacher is like, "Where you going?" She assaults him a little bit more. He fucking,
Yeah,
and then he
right.
just fucking runs out. Yeah,
Well, he
and
like
like
runs. He no, he runs into like the principal. And he like literally bumps into him, and then he just takes off, right?
doesn't the principal grab him real quick? He's like, "Hey, where are you
No, because
going?"
he like literally runs into him, and like the shock of it, like he was like, oh shit, he like kind of grabbed him because like they literally
Yeah,
ran
yeah,
into each other. So it's not
okay,
like he didn't grab him. He just like literally like hit him, and then he was like, oh fuck, like grabbing his shoulders,
yeah,
like are you okay kind of thing. And then
yeah,
Jonathan, he's like, why are you out of class? And like and then Jonathan like freaks out and like takes off again. And then he's like, get
yeah.
over here. And he's like,
I'm
no, fuck you.
I'm still counting it as assault. And then the principal ends up seeing the dead possum in the middle of the hallway.
So they put two together, yeah.
Yeah, he's all goddamn kid.
But then we go lunch hour with Sienna instead.
That's
Um,
right.
so that's when Allie walks up and she's like, "Hey, girl, blah blah blah." And Sienna's kind of just like not in a great mood because the dream plus like the fucking the outfit burning up, and so she's all stressed out.
Yeah,
And then so Allie's like, "So how's the costume going? I bet you stayed up to like 2 in the morning or whatever it is."
yeah.
And then Sienna's like, "Well, more like 6 because the fucking my costume's ruined or whatever."
My room lit on fire somehow. Yeah,
Yeah, she's like, "I swear it wasn't my fault." And it's like, "No, girl, it was."
yeah. She's like, it's gonna take you at least a week. She's like, a month, a year to get
Yeah, like
over.
yeah,
And
yeah. And
then they start talking about Victoria and Monica Brown. They're like,
well,
"Oh,
yeah.
did you
So
hear her happen?" Well,
Brooke joins them outside, just outside of those doors. Because like Brooke walks up, and then Brooke starts talking about the interview, and then she's
yeah,
like going into details about it, and then Sienna starts to have a panic attack. She's like, freaking out, and then she kind of like scurries off to the side, and she's like about to faint.
hmm Sienna has that meltdown, and then they talk about the room fire, and then that's it.
Oh,
Fucking
and then it goes to John, right? And getting to the house.
oh, but before it ends, and they're like they calm her down, right? And they're walking
Yeah.
away. She's like, "Do you want some of my Monica Brown cookie?" And I was like, "What?"
See, that's the kind of friends you need.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. And then now we get to where the cops are fucking back at the house because of Jonathan.
Yeah, they picked him up, which they don't show it, but they pick him up and they take him home.
And then
And
Barbara is having a full blown fucking heart attack at this point
I mean,
now.
I get it, dude, because like I got caught with cigarettes in middle school, and my mom like wanted to kill me. She was so fucking pissed at me, but I got ratted out by a girl that I was like messing with a little bit.
Yeah,
She got mad at me for like ending it, and she like told one of the fucking
that sounds
teachers.
right. That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
about right.
because they got busted. Luckily, they threw him away in the trash, but they found it.
She's all, fuck this guy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And then my mom came to school, dude, and I've never like she's never hit me that hard in my life.
Yeah,
But
nothing's
yeah. So I can see
nothing's
why like the
worse.
mom's pissed.
Nothing's worse than a woman scorned. No
Uh,
matter what age.
so mom is so fucking pissed right now.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
and
like quick too, because she just says, "Get to your fucking room," and that's about it. And then
yeah,
immediately jumps into the Halloween store.
which Santa's looking for a new like wings, basically,
Wing
right?
set,
Just the
yeah,
wings, yeah.
yeah.
And so as she's doing that, she's like upstairs and
She's with Allie, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So she's upstairs and she's looking at shit and she sees the wings and but then she sees Art, right?
Yeah, he pops up.
He pops up and he's just kind of staring at her the entire time, like he does. And she's like, very uneased by it. She's freaking out because Art's very animated,
Yeah,
and he's kind of fucking with her just a little bit. And so just she has to like walk by him to like go back downstairs. And so
yeah,
like
yeah.
that was a
She has
very
to.
uncomfortable scene.
He's just standing there too,
Yeah, he's just standing there and he's like
like
waiting for her to go by.
like a statue and shit.
He's loving it though. He's loving this.
And then fucking that's when she ends up. She goes at that point now. She's like trying to check out, fucking trying to get out of there. And she realizes that she left her bag in the costume room.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then she's like, "Oh my god, my bag's gone!" And immediately when she says it, Art comes down and slams her bag right down there on the counter
It's
next to
over,
her,
yeah.
and walks off to the sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then
At the
again,
start of the line, yeah.
yeah, and then again, like he's like just like having the best of his life, dude. He's trying on different glasses. He's having a good fucking
Sunglasses, like
time.
those Daisy glasses, yeah.
The Daisy ones, and he tries all the ones that are like hands, like this. The sunglasses are
Yeah.
hands, and he's also doing the hands with it.
And then he does the eyeball one where like they come out and shit. He's
Yeah,
all like something like this.
and then he gets that fucking the little rattler. He shakes.
Oh yeah, he just keeps doing it. And that's when the clerk kind of gets like irritated by it. He's like,
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, you gotta buy that stuff."
and then he does the birthday blower, and then that's when
Yeah, that's when the clerk says it.
yeah, he's like you gotta buy that if you're gonna put that in your mouth, and he just spits it out.
Yeah, he's like, "Ugh." He's like, "I don't want this. I don't
Yeah.
want this." He's like, "I really don't want this." He's like,
So
he's like, "I can't afford this. I don't have enough money."
she's digging in her purse. She's all fucking, art's just being art, and she's like freaking
Yeah,
out about it.
she's all discombobulated and shit.
Yeah, so she has to like literally dig to the bottom of her bag to get her change, and or her whatever. And so he's like 32.50. I wrote that down finally. She- so I never write down shit, but I was like 32.50. I don't know why this pops out to my head. That's not
That's a
bad
good
for
one.
wings, honestly.
That's a good. Hell no, dude. What the fuck?
That's actually pretty good. Um, so
It's
yeah,
cheaper than a Art the Clown costume.
I mean, dude, I know, or even just like a basic mask, dude. Like, honestly.
It's cheaper than an Art the Clown mask.
Yeah. So she finally buys it and she's like trying to get out of there, but he's like, "Oh, let me get a bag for you." And she's like, "No, no, no, it's okay." He's like, "No, no, I'll be right back." So he like tunes and he fucking like leaves. Um, and then that's when he grabs the horn, right? He grabs the
Yeah,
horn and he like slowly like walks over to her.
it does like that cartoon sneaking up walk on you,
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite thing to do at work.
where your legs are all high in the air.
They do that shit for some reason like in my way. I do that walk.
That's hella funny.
And so then he starts to like do the horn right next to her ear, and she's like freaking out. Like the All Hallows Eve when she was at the bench and he was like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
And she's like stop it. And finally he gets back. He's like hey, like get this shit out.
yeah.
And so finally she gets her shit. She leaves.
He locks the door.
He like follows her. He like turns the sign, locks the door, and then he walks back. Um, and the guy's like, "Hey man, like I'm closing up. You get the fuck out." And like Art's like,
First,
"Hold on, hold
yeah,
on."
first, yeah. He's like, "You gonna buy this or what?" And then fucking, and then he's like, he's all digging. Somehow, in his garbage bag full of shit, he pulls out like $2. Somehow he found that.
Yeah, yeah, dig all the way to the bottom, just like $2 and like some change.
Yeah, it's all
So
bloody.
they, yeah,
He's all, I can't. You know what? He's like, yeah, I can't take this. Shit. I don't get
I
paid
got
enough
here.
for
Yeah.
this. He's all, I don't get paid for
So
this shit.
so Art gets irritated and he grabs the bottle and smashes over at his head.
Yeah, and then fucking takes the broken bottle and smashes into his fucking eye socket,
Yeah, just brutal.
and then he
Dude, Art's,
fucking
Art's racist, dude.
the fuck out of here. And then after that, then he pulls a hatchet out of his ass and then fucking cuts into his head,
Yeah,
and then eventually cuts his head off.
yeah, he's taking a sweet time too.
Yeah, it's to Serena and Allie talking about her fire and Art the Clown in the costume shop for like a minute, and then it cuts to it cuts to like a mom and her son trying to come into the Halloween store and it's closed. And then
Yeah.
Art the Clown's like he's like posing with the guy's head. And the son and the kid's like, whoa, that's so cool. And the kids and they walk off. And then now they're back home again. Jonathan's talking to
To Sienna.
Sienna about Art the Clown. Yeah, he's like that. He's
The,
real. He's here. I saw him at school and blah blah blah.
and that's when he busts out the
The
book, right?
sketchbook. Yep.
Yeah. And then that's when we get like ideas of like the costume a little bit, but then also like some actual killings from Art the Clown. So he like envisioned the stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, their dad envisioned all
Right,
this.
right. So he's got that like weird fucking, I don't know what you want to call it, but
The sight,
yeah.
because
Isn't
like
there
like
a name for
in the,
that?
it's called The Shining. He's got the shining. He's got the shinin, boy. You got the shinin.
Yeah. Sounds like a fucking SCD.
Uh, but in the sketchbook, there's drawings Tia from the first movie. There's drawings of her friend, getting being hung upside down, which she gets cut in half.
Right.
All the drawings from the first Killing movies are all up in the book. So like he knew all the shit was gonna happen. Then there's a picture of Sienna holding up Art's head with the sword, like or the devil's head
The
actually with the
devil's head,
sword.
yeah, it's like a demon
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
And then the mom's yelling at John again.
Yes, somehow Barbara comes into the picture and she's yelling at Jonathan and shit. And that's when, oh no, Barbara comes in. And she's like, "Why would you tell him what you did?" And she's like, "You brought a dead animal to school and all this sort of shit." And Jonathan's like, "I didn't do it." And then Sienna's like, "Well, maybe he didn't do it."
Yeah, she's
You
like
know,
starting to believe him. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And then Jonathan begs Sienna to stay home because she's going out to that party.
yeah. He's like, no, I'm going. Like, bye bye.
Yeah, she's like, "No, I made plans. You're in trouble. I'm not." She's like,
Yeah, that's
"You're
your fault.
grounded." Yeah, I'm not
That's
grounded.
your fault. Yeah.
I got excused from my room.
You gotta run a up, not me. Yeah.
And then Sienna and Barbara are in the kitchen talking about that she believes Jonathan and all sort of stuff.
Which is kept pretty short, but just long enough. Um,
Yeah, it's cut short by a doorbell ring.
then so then it goes to Allie, right? To
Yeah, yeah,
trick or treating,
and the doorbell ends up being Allie's door.
and that's when we get the kids, trick or treat,
Smell my feet.
give me something good to eat,
That's right. Come.
and so she gives up the candy, she closes the door, she's walking away, the doorbell goes again. This time it's the clown.
Yeah, she sees that black van.
Yeah, it's that creepy
Oh no!
van.
Before she closes the door, doesn't she see the black van first?
Yeah,
And she
yeah,
see,
yeah.
and she also sees the fucking demon sister in there too. That's why I saw. I'm
Oh,
like,
does
yes,
she? Okay, I missed that.
yeah. And then she closes the door, and then the doorbell rings again, and then boom, we got Art. Give me, and what does he fucking want? Goddamn motherfucking candy.
Goddamn candy. So,
Yeah,
and so but she does, she blows him off though. She's like, "You're a little
yeah.
too old for this,"
Get out of here, kid. You're bugging
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah,
me.
and so so she closes the door, and then he like starts banging on the door instead.
Yeah,
And she's like, she opens the door like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, what? Wait." So then she gets irritated. She throws candy at him,
yeah. He
at the
smells like
bag,
him.
and then slams the door and locks it. Uh,
Yeah, she sees the bloody tools and she fucking is like, "Oh my god!" And she fucking freaks out. And then it goes back to Sienna's house again, and now she's watching the breaking news about Monica Brown.
right.
And then the TV ends up talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, Monica Brown, this and something about Veronica was just released out of the psych house." And then it's all just like you, Sienna.
Yeah, that's
If
she's like,
like,
"What the fuck?"
yeah, she's all fucking fuck. She's like, she takes hella medication and shit. I was like,
Popping
damn,
pills.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, those are hella psych pills. You got to overdose on those
She just
motherfuckers.
like eats a Xanny bar.
Yeah, and then she looks at yeah, and then she looks at her wings and she jumps into a fucking shower, and now we get a fucking sexy Sienna in the shower scene.
Mm-hmm.
Sienna's hot,
Wasn't
dude.
I know I wasn't mad at that.
That's a fucking Sienna's pretty hot, especially when she puts on that fucking costume. I will give her
Yeah.
credit for that. They did a
I
good
know.
job on that.
I try not to be a perv, but when you got it, you got it. You know.
Hey, dude, fucking, I've seen plenty of girls perv on guys like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's part of being human. You know.
Yeah, fucking
Um.
look at Magic when Magic Mike came out. Fucking all these fucking chicks are going all crazy when shit happened. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Magic Mike. Oh
Right. I know.
my
Yeah,
god,
there was a time when, like
Channing
every
Tatum.
girl was talking about. Yeah. There was a time like every girl was talking about those fucking movies.
I've heard girls still talking about fucking Magic Mike. Dude. I'm like, damn, that movie's hella old. I was like, fucking-
Yeah, they don't
and
know
then
about that anymore. I promise you that.
so after fucking after the shower scene and fucking the costume she put on after the costume, then we cut back to Allie's house again.
Yeah. So Ellie's in her room. Um. And she goes downstairs, and that's when she sees
Yeah,
Art getting water
yeah. Well, she has her sound. She goes downstairs and she sees a broken glass window, and then she
at the
sees
sliding
Art.
door.
Yeah, yeah, and then she sees Art in the kitchen. Yeah, getting a glass of
All
fucking water.
nonchalant. Yeah. And so he looks at her. I forgot what he does. Does he wave her? I forgot what he does. He just like
Yeah,
looks at her.
he waves at her, and then he chases her upstairs.
He grabs scissors and like a it looks like a scalpel,
Looks, yeah, yeah.
which is weird to have it in the kitchen. But
Probably brought it in with him.
the scissors sure because like you can cook food with it. But like
he,
the
pro-
scalpel
he,
was like a weird choice. I don't know.
he probably brought that in with him, most
Oh
likely,
yeah, that makes sense. So he grabbed the
because
scissors, but
it came from
the
the morgue
morgue. Yeah,
office
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah. That makes sense. I forgot about that.
yeah.
But the scissors for sure. I always know people with scissors in their thing, cutting stuff.
Yeah, I do. I have scissors in my kitchen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're my
They're
cutting
good for
block.
like cutting the meat and stuff, you know.
Yeah, cutting
Um,
that chicken.
hell yeah. So he like I love the scenes where he's like about to chase you, like he's like not doing anything, and all of a sudden he goes, "Yeah." And then like
Yeah,
and then she runs
lunges.
upstairs and he chases her. And as soon as she gets to her room, she like knocks over her shelf to like try to stop him. That doesn't
Yeah.
work. Not even close.
Yeah,
He fucking pushes her on the bed, and he just starts to like fucking mutilate her.
dude, fucking. This scene is dope, dude. So fucking like the first thing
Lots
he
of eye.
does is he cuts straight down the middle of her fucking eye.
Yeah. Which is,
Her
I've
eye,
never seen that.
her eye. You didn't see that?
No, no, no. I've seen in any other movies. I've never seen like go down
Oh,
that far.
I know, yeah, because it's right down the eyeball. Eyeball
Yeah,
popped
yeah,
out, cut in half. You know,
yeah.
then he fucking,
Brutal.
then he scalps her
Yeah.
with the
With the
fucking scissors.
yeah, yeah, and then fucking peels her head back.
Yeah, pulls her hair back, and then fucking. Then what else does he do? Fucking he cuts fucking down her back. Yeah, he
Yeah,
gets her back on the bed, slices her back up, and then fucking he breaks off her arm like a chicken wing.
yeah. Like he breaks it one way, then he goes the other way. He's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
straight up like a motherfucking chicken wing, dude.
yeah,
And then fucking splits her hand down the middle of her arm.
yeah.
This scene is
Fucking
fucking. This is a brutal
yeah,
scene.
yeah, yeah. I heard people in theaters were like throwing up during the scene.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh
heard it was so graphic that people were like throwing up.
wow! I would have
Yeah,
loved to see this in the theaters.
yeah. I heard it was like
that's
so brutal. Yeah.
that's so sad to hear. I would have loved to watch this in theaters.
Oh yeah, me too.
And
So
then
he does that, and I love how like he rips that out, and then like there's like, pictures of Sienna on the wall and shit, like as it's all happening,
yeah,
and so he fucking like he stops, and then he like kind of runs on for a second,
yeah,
and then she falls to the ground, and she's trying to crawl away to get her phone, and he like happily like kind of runs back, but he has like bleach and salt in both arms.
yeah. Just dumps it on her.
He just
Just like
dumps, seriously dumps the bleach all over her, and she's all like screaming and shit.
torches this woman, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, and then he starts pouring salt all over her, and then
stuffing it in.
yeah, and then she like leaves it on her back.
Stuff that motherfucker in there, and then for no reason he just rips off her face, like a part of her
Yeah,
face. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck?
it's
And
like a
then
sport to him.
yeah, and then immediately just goes to Barbara watching TV.
Yeah, she's just drinking a glass of wine. She's watching Night of the Living Dead, which is great.
Yeah,
I was very happy to see that.
if fucking Sienna comes down in her costume, and her mom's like, "Of course, it's this is too revealing for you to go out."
Yeah, she's like, your titties are popping out.
Yeah, then
Um,
eventually, your mom's like, "You know what? It looks good.
so
Dad would have loved it."
side note, I love how in a lot of horror films, like especially these days, I haven't seen that a lot with like Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
There's been a lot of like shoutouts. Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say that because I was thinking the same thing.
yeah.
Fucking it's been popping up in the movies that we've been watching.
Well, because it was such an original when it came out, in what
Yeah,
'68. Um, that was such like an iconic movie that came out that it wasn't done before that.
yeah,
So of course to get shoutouts like that, and plus I love zombies anyway, so I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so
I had a feeling you were gonna bring that up because I thought the same
uh,
thing.
yeah, I had to. I just love it so much. Yeah, so the mom's like at first she's like, ew, gross, and then she's like, yeah, your dad would appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then
And then
what?
she leaves, and then we're back at Allie's house, and that's when Allie's mom comes home.
Yeah,
She
and she's
sees,
like she's sitting on the bed, right?
yeah, the mom sees the broken glass and puts like, "Oh my god, my daughter." And then she pops up in the bedroom, and that's when Art's just mutilating the shit out of Allie still.
Her legs, right?
Yeah, her legs, peeling off the skin out of her legs. I
Yeah,
mean,
just
she's all fucked up now, dude.
yeah. And then she's still alive. That's the crazy
She's
thing.
still, yeah, she's like, she looks up, she's like,
She looks up
"Mom."
and she's like, "Mom," and
Yeah,
then the mom screams,
and
and
then
then we
joined into the festivities.
yeah. Well, and then it goes to the next scene of
Halloween party. Now we're at the Halloween party.
yeah, the club, right?
This this is where all my questioning of age comes up because fucking like if this is a club and these kids are in high school, that means this whole club is full of underage drinking.
Oh yeah. I know.
It's
Who's like who cares? Who's me? Like
Let's
you know what
check
I
an
mean?
ID.
Like yeah,
Let's check an IDs here.
seriously. I know. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, obviously, I didn't give a shit.
this this place is gonna get shut down, dude, by the end of the night.
In a second. Yeah. Uh, so they're just kind of doing their thing. They start dancing, right? No.
Yeah, Sienna's all stressed out because she's worried
Yeah.
about Allie. She's like, "Where's Allie?" She's not answering the phone and blah blah blah. And then Brooke, because Brooke is like, just shut up and drink and let's just have a good time.
Right. And then Jeff pops up, right? Scares
That's where
Brooke.
yeah, we introduced to Jeff, who ends up being like Brooke's man friend.
Yeah, her boy toy.
Yeah, so it's somewhere in between all this shit. Fucking Brooke slipped Sienna and Molly.
Molly, yeah. And her drink, I think.
That it had to be, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
what she
see it.
says.
I didn't see it happen.
They just implied it, you know.
She's like, let me get two shots, and all of a sudden, now she's rolling on fucking Molly and shit.
Yeah, well, they don't show it, but she pops it in her shot or something,
Yeah,
and she just fucking shoots it.
yeah.
So yeah, Sienna's rolling now. And so they're all dancing and shit. She's having a ball now, not
Yeah.
stressed.
And
Uh,
then we get a cut back to Allie's house, and that's when Art's opening up the door with candy and fucking Allie's skull.
no, it was at the mom's school.
Was it the mom's skull?
Yeah, it's the mom's school because the face is
Okay.
all intact and everything.
Oh yeah, right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
You are right.
Which is still fucking dope though. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
And the
I'm telling
kid's
you,
like,
the effects, I love it.
the kid's like, oh my god, it's so real.
He's
And
like, it's
Art's like,
still wet.
yeah. He's all slapping the kid's hands. He's like, that's too much.
Yeah,
He's
the
like,
kid's trying to grab more than one. He's all stuck.
yeah,
It's
that's too much for you. And
just
then
some
we get
crazy. Like there's moments where Art's like a normal person.
yeah, he's playful.
Yeah.
And then we get a quick cut back to Jonathan's in Sienna's room, and he's fucking around with the sword and fucking. And then we get a quick cut back to Jonathan's in Sienna's room, and he's fucking. And then we get a quick cut back to Jonathan's in Sienna's room, and he's fucking around with the sword and fucking. Oh, that's why he flips out on his mom. Because his
Yeah.
mom rips up the sketchbook. She's like, I had enough of this book and fucking you and this and that. And she rips it all up. And he's like, you're such a bitch. He's all, you're
But
being, he's all, you're acting like a bitch. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, she is. I was like, she is, dude.
but,
He's totally right.
so again, the mom loses it again, and then John runs off, scurries off.
She slaps him. She slaps him in the
Yeah, she
face,
slaps the shit out of him first. Yeah.
and then he runs off.
And then the club again. This
Yeah,
time she's like,
I put party time.
excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, now she's rolling, dude. She's
Now
on
she's
one,
rolling. Yeah. She's like, she's having the fucking time of her life now.
taking random selfies with guys.
He's like, she's like kind of flirting, but she's not. You know.
Yeah, he's like, "Can I get a selfie with you?" He's like,
He's
"Oh,
like, sure, baby.
cool." He's like, "Fuck yeah!" And then fucking, and then it goes back to Barbara drinking more wine. And it goes,
Yeah, and then she hears the garage door opening, right?
yeah, she has some noise in the garage, and she runs out there and finds the car is trashed.
It's all trash. It's like there's pumpkins like thrown on it, and there's like it says bitch on it and stuff like that, and like just a
Yeah,
bunch of random shit.
yeah. And then fucking now we're back to party time again.
There's like shaving cream too, isn't there?
Oh, shaving
Like
cream,
all
and
over
then
it. Yeah,
written in the shaving cream was bitch.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, back to Sienna again, right? And that's when
Yeah,
Brooke finally tells her like, "Oh, I sent you some Molly because I figured to make you feel better."
yeah, because she's all filling the wall. She's like, this wall feels so good. She's like, I want to live in it. And then
She's like, "Girl,
fucking
you need to calm down."
yeah, she's like, you're fucking on Molly. Chill out, dude. She's like, fucking. And then it goes
Yes.
back to Jonathan running, and that's when he notices the black van, and he also sees. That's when he sees the demon sister in there too.
Yeah, she's got glowing eyes and shit, and so he
Yeah,
freaks out and runs off again.
back to the party.
That yeah, it goes back to her at the party, and then they all leave. Or she looks at her phone, and her mom called her like hella times, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so she tries to call back, but it's too loud, so she has to walk away. Finally, she's like, she answered, and her mom knows she's already fucked up. She's like, you're the drunk or something, because I can hear it.
yeah. No, fucking. First, it's hella funny because like they're talking about Jonathan, and then she's like, "Are you drunk?" And she's like,
No.
Sienna's like, I thought we were talking about Jonathan. We're not talking about me. And then after Sienna starts filling the fucking the Molly, and she's like, you know what? I love you, mom, and you know I don't say this enough. And all of her fucking Molly emotions come out, and fucking, and then the mom's like, you know what? I love you too, and it's like everything is forgiven. Everything is,
That's so funny.
drugs fix everything.
Well, yeah, yeah, sure.
And then it started talking about the rules, and she's like, rules, rules, rules. Fucking, and then it goes to Barbara fucking cleaning off the car now.
Yeah, and this is the funny part I thought. So like as soon as she starts wiping the window, we see Art in the driver's seat,
Yeah,
and he points the sawed off at her,
yeah.
and fucking blows her head off, or like
Pops her
a
head,
chunk of her head off. You know?
pops her skull clean off, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was actually pretty cool looking.
Fucking
Uh,
Barbara's face. Oh,
yeah,
she's all shocked.
I was actually very, I was shocked about that scene when I first saw it the first time, like years ago, a couple
Mhm.
years ago. I was like, oh shit, like that was to me that
It's a
was
cool scene.
unexpected. Yeah,
It was
uh,
unexpected, and that's
yeah,
what made it more. That's what made it more epic. You know,
right.
because you didn't. I didn't like when I first saw it. I'm like, oh fuck, they killed the mom off. Like I
Yeah,
didn't think that was gonna happen. You know, like
yeah, I didn't either.
this family instantly became an orphan. Orphanages, dude.
Yeah. Um,
Immediate orphans. I said, fuck. Okay. The plot
and
thickens.
yeah, and like her reaction to seeing the gun was see like that was a to me that
That
was a
was a good
good
reaction.
yeah because like the Tommy gun is different. Like some of those people actually had time to like react to it. You know, like they could have been like, oh fuck, he pulled out a gun, he's already shooting at the first person. Or a couple people like they could have ran, but she didn't really have a reaction time. She only had like maybe what 2 seconds.
She was in complete shock.
Yeah, she was
She,
like, oh
she,
fuck, and then
she didn't
boom.
know what the fuck was happening. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's that's what was like that was the difference, but it was also very shocking and like very cool.
Yeah.
Um, so she's like coming back for the sequel. Um, and
Get the fuck
and then
out.
we go. Is that when we go to John coming back?
It goes, it goes back to it goes back to the party, and in fact,
Okay.
that's when Serena sees the demon girl creep up on her, and she
Oh
has
right, right.
a full blown freak out.
Yeah, she's freaking out, and that's when they leave, right?
Yeah, then they leave, and then it goes to Jonathan. Jonathan's back at the house, and that's when he finds his mom
Sitting
sitting
in
at the
the
dining table
yeah,
with
and
her fucking face just fucking knocked in.
yeah, and so he basically plopped her head back on,
Yeah,
and so that's when we get Art. He comes back with like a some food.
yeah, yeah, and he stuffs some mashed potatoes in her mouth
Yeah,
or
like
into her face.
to her face. Yeah, which is so diabolical.
Yeah, and then
Um,
fucking, and then he chases, and then Jonathan, and then after that, then he just ends up chasing Jonathan. Fucking, he pulls out the syringe, and he's
right,
after
right.
Jonathan now, and he chases Jonathan into
To
Sienna's room.
Sienna's room. Yeah,
Jonathan's trying to grab the fucking sword, of course, and he can't get it because he's too fucking small, and fucking Art ends up knocking his ass out with fucking some reanimator liquid.
well, yeah, he's trying to like push the door. Like he's trying to like keep him from like pushing the door open.
Yeah,
But Art's too big and strong, so he fucking just slams through and knocks him over. So John's on his back, Jonathan's on his back, and that's when he injects him finally,
yeah.
knocks his
And,
ass out.
and then now we go back to the car ride with Brooke, Sienna, and Jeff.
And then yeah, and then Jonathan calls, right? Or like she gets a call from
She gets a call
Jonathan's
from
phone.
yeah. Well, fucking Brooks all flip. First of all, Brooks all flipping out on Sienna and fucking be
Yeah,
like,
she's like, "You ruined it."
trying to yeah, trying to make her feel guilty for fucking for drugging her. She's
He's
like,
like, "I make you
yeah,
feel better. You ruined the night."
yeah, just acting like a complete fucking asshole. Fucking Santa's like, you drugged me. What the fuck? I didn't ask for any of this shit. And fucking she's like, ah, blah blah. And that's when fucking her phone rings. It's Jonathan saying he needs help at the old carnival, but it's really the demon girl using Jonathan's voice.
Right.
Then that's when it's like, we gotta go get up. We gotta get my brother at the old carnival, and then that's when like, all right, here we go, off to another fucking adventure time for your brother. Or
Turn to
she's like,
Scooby Doo to the next scene. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say that, yeah. And then fucking then fucking they drive up to the old carnival. Now we're at this creepy looking ass carnival that came out of nowhere that had
Yeah.
nothing to do with this movie the whole entire time.
I just wrote down fairgrounds because usually there's like some kind of setup.
Yeah,
Um,
and
yeah.
that's when
So
Sienna leaves. She's like, I'm gonna go look for him, and she fucking leaves.
yeah, because he's not responding right away. She's like texting him, but he's not responding. And,
Yeah,
so she's like, "I'm gonna go." Yeah.
Brooks like, she's fucking crazy.
And then that's when Brooks starts to. So as Sienna leaves, Brooks telling Jeff about Sienna's history a little bit.
Which is so fucked up.
She's like
I,
gossiping
th-
about her friend. Yeah.
I thought that was fuck. I wrote down next to it. I said that was fucking rude. Because she just told like about her dad committing suicide, all kinds of shit. Like this guy didn't even know any of that shit, dude.
Yeah. No, he
You
didn't.
know,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, he's like, now I see it. I was like, you
He's like, it
fucking
made sense. Yeah.
yeah, what a fucking dick. And then
So John wakes up, right?
fucking Sienna's still trying to get in touch with Jonathan, and obviously the phone signal's not working. That's when she gets a text from Jonathan, and it says, "I'm stuck." And she's like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "Terrifier."
Oh, right, right.
And then,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, Jonathan wakes up surrounded by all these dolls and a demon girl
And and then
that
we
she's
cut back
sliced.
to
The demon girl's all slicing up her face.
oh, is she? I missed that. Huh.
Yeah, yeah. Like as soon as he wakes up and he's looking at all the freaky dolls and the demon girl's there, and she turns around and she's hella cutting up her face with a scalpel.
Huh. I don't know how I missed that.
And then for no reason it cuts to fucking Brooke and Jeff making out in
Making
the
out.
car,
Yeah.
and doing cocaine.
Yeah,
And
he
fucking
buys some for cocaine, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and then
yeah,
she
and
does
then
it
that's it.
eventually.
and then that's it. And then it goes back to the fucking haunted house. It goes like, what the
And
fuck?
Sienna's like walking through it, right?
Yeah, she's walking through it at this time, and then
They're
it
trying to
goes back
call.
to Jeff, and then it goes back to Brooke and Jeff in the car.
And so he's gotta go take a leak, right?
Yeah, and Brooke's like all worried about Serena now. She's like, I'm so worried about her. Was she okay? And he's like, I'm gonna go take a piss.
Yeah, so he walks out, and then Brooke tries to call Sienna, but no one's answering. And
Yeah,
then Jeff gives her a jump scare
yeah.
through the window, and then she like teases him, and then she grabs the bag of coke and she's like waving it at him.
She's threatening to throw that shit away.
Yeah, he's like, "Please, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I know. I know. That's not a fun game. I played that game before. It's not fun. So,
That's a lot of money to waste. Yeah.
and then that's when fucking he walks back to the car, and then she looks out the window, another window, and it's like in like what would you call that? Fucking in hot breath, the fucking the condensation. It says just the tip.
Yeah. On the driver's side, right?
Yeah, and then he fucking art stabs the shit out of Jeff and rips his fucking dick off.
And
It
then
shows it shows his dick getting ripped off.
yeah.
And then after he rips off, the Arctic kind of like slaps it on the fucking side of the car window.
On the window, yeah.
So,
Then she starts screaming and shit, and she's trying to like start the car, but she can't get it. She's like,
yeah,
she's freaking out too much. She can't like, So he busts to the window,
pulls
fucking
her
pulls
out.
her out. Yeah. Um, she
She
dies
ends
there,
up
right?
she ends up kicking
Oh yeah.
kicking him off, and she takes off.
I love how like Art like he looks all disappointed.
Yeah, it's all
He's all
sad.
like, he's like, oh man.
He's like, oh.
I thought,
So she ends up taking her boots off, and she splits into the haunted house too, but from the back entrance.
got it. And then as she's running, she can hear Brooke screaming.
Yeah,
So she's like running towards Sienna or towards Brooke.
yeah, and
And
then
then
Brooke,
they end up in the bathroom, right?
yeah, Brooke ends up in the bathroom first, and that's when she gets cornered by Art.
And then what does
And
Art do?
he comes in with that table leg with the fucking nails in it, and fucking for oh no, and he corners her up, and then fucking she's about to like defend herself, that he just fucking like chucks acid into her face.
Yeah, you know what I
And
wrote?
uh
I wrote I said Brooke gets a Woody.
yeah, she does after that, yeah.
Yeah, and then I wrote Art's is bigger.
Yeah, she does get a piece of wood. She gets a
Yeah,
little she gets a little 2x4, and she's got about to fight Art back, and she gets some acid in her face instead.
yeah,
And
and
then
then he
fucking
starts
Art,
beating her.
he just beats her down to the ground, and he fucking breaks her knee, and then caves her fucking chest in, and fucking takes out. And he just fucking takes out her heart for no fucking reason.
And he's Art,
Overkill.
dude. He's Art the Clown. Yeah,
He's earned it. He's like, I've earned this soul. And then that's when Serena walks into the bathroom and sees Brooke dead on the floor, and Art's just like watching and waving at her.
yeah, and then Jonathan walks up behind Art, and then Sienna freaks out. She's like Jonathan, and then so then Art turns around, sees Jonathan. So then
He takes
um
off after Jonathan.
yeah, and then she grabs that piece of wood, right?
Yeah, she does. She does grab the piece of wood. Yeah.
And then she stabs him though. She stabs Art first before he chases John.
So he chases John. Yeah, she does. Okay, yeah, because she tells Jonathan to run, and then Serena stabs Art, and then Art beats the shit out of Serena immediately, dude.
Yeah,
Immediately just takes off on her, and he's like throwing her into the stall, into the mirror, into the wall, and just beats her down, and then that was it for her. And then
wait,
like
he kicks her twice.
it happened so quick. It happened so fucking quick. I was like, fuck. And that's when it shows Jonathan running, and he ends up hiding, and Art's looking around for Jonathan, of course. And then
Yeah,
Serena wakes up, and then that's when she grabs the fucking that piece of wood or something.
yeah. And then
Again,
so Art's on the hunt. And then Jonathan's trying to figure out where to go because it's kind of like a maze.
yeah, and he sees like the exit sign.
Yeah, but he just hides behind the curtain, right?
Yeah, but then he pops out and he sees the exit sign, and that's when
Yeah.
and then
So Art walks by, but because he doesn't see him behind the curtain, and then
yeah,
and then he goes into the exit. Um, And then let's see. And then
Immediately,
that's
immediately, Art gets him.
does he?
Yeah. As soon as he goes to that fucking exit sign, Art fucking gets him and starts slicing the shit
Oh
out
yeah,
of his
yeah,
ass.
he's slicing on the cheek and shit like that, all over his
Yeah.
body.
And then
And Art's like
Serena,
laughing and mocking, and then Sienna comes back and hits him.
yeah, with the table leg, to
Yeah.
right to his dome. It's all stuck in his head. He's still trying to pull it out.
That's so funny though. I love they re I just dude, Art's reaction is just perfect.
Yeah.
Like they fucking hired the most perfect dude to do it. And yeah, so he's like trying to like figure out how to get it out. So they take
Yeah.
off. Um and they end up in the cathedral, right? Like the church.
Yeah. Yeah. And they slow down for a minute. And Sienna gets another weapon.
Like a
Fucking
giant pipe, right?
yeah, and then Jonathan runs off again, and then he immediately gets caught when we're again. I was like, "Fuck, dude, this kid cannot get away."
No, no, what happens is when they get to the church, she grabs the thing and she's trying to find Art. She wants to beat the shit out of him. So she like goes ahead and then Art's on the pew, like in one of those trench like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And so
yeah.
then like so
He
John's like
gets
he's
Jonathan.
just standing there. And then Jonathan like that's when he starts whipping him with the thing.
Yeah, whips the shit out of that kid too.
Yeah, beats the shit out of him. So then and then Sienna comes back, right?
Yeah, and then Sienna comes back and she ends up she covers him. Yeah, she gets whipped.
Yes, they start fighting and he throws her across and then she
There's a lot of whipping in this scene actually.
with like the flogger kind of thing.
So
And
Jonathan gets whipped, and then Sienna comes and attacks him, and she gets her ass whipped. And
yeah,
then he goes back to whipping Jonathan, and then
and
Sienna
she tries to
crawls over
cover him, right?
Jonathan, and then she gets whipped, and then she starts getting whipped.
And then she gets the she musters the courage to like grab the thing as he's beating her.
Yeah, she grabs the whip and starts beating the shit out of her with it.
Yeah, it's like a lot of back and forth. And it's just so funny because like as I'm just getting beat, he's actually getting hurt, but he doesn't can't say
Yeah,
anything, which is kind of weird, but like I don't know, it's funny. Um,
yeah,
and then that's when she grabs the pole and stabs him, right? Stabs him through the
yeah. She
head,
stops. Yeah, with that rod,
and so he falls.
starts
And
choking her.
yeah, she's trying to catch her breath, to get John, and then he immediately gets back up and fucking starts choking her.
Yeah, and as he's choking her, Jonathan knows that he has fucking that sawed-off shotgun in his sock, which he pulls out and ends
Yeah,
up fucking shooting Art with it.
well, it's funny because they have that moment, like how you talk about, like there's always that moment, like when they have a gun where they like freeze, and even Art kind of stops. He's like kind of like that, and then
Yeah,
like and then Jonathan's like kind of like he just pointing it. He like cranks it back. Well, first he cranks it back. That's when Art he hits the cock, and then he's like, and then that's when he freezes, and then all of a sudden he shoots him anyway.
yeah,
So then
pop.
Art kind of flies backwards, and dies.
Yeah,
Like catch the breath for a second.
he's stunned.
Yeah,
And then that's when Serena has the vision of her mom, but it's really not her mom. It's another fucking some kind of demon.
right. It's like the clown girl. I
Yeah,
was like,
it's not the con girl though. It's
no,
a
it's
whole
not. It's
different.
just a,
It's all different fucking thing. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
damn, there's another one.
I know,
And
right?
then that's when she realizes that Jonathan is gone.
And Art too.
Yeah, and Art too. And she
So
ends
she
up
gets up, she
looking.
runs down the hall,
Yeah,
and we get like a some kind of empty room where like
Art standing over Jonathan.
yeah he's getting ready for his final kill, I guess, or a kill.
He's getting ready. He's getting ready for the grand finale.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where
She
fucking Serena starts. Does he even fight him at this point? Because he just
she's
pushes her fucking down.
yeah she's like she does that weird thing where like how, like when a little kid tries to like hit you and stuff, she's going
Yeah,
like that, and she's like hitting
yeah,
him, but she's like not doing anything.
yeah. She's
So
all fucked up.
he's like not entertained, so he like pushes her head, and
Yeah,
then she
she,
falls backwards to the planks.
yeah, right through that floor.
Yeah, and then she goes to the floor down, And then there's like a gateway, kind of like a hole in the ground.
Yeah, it's like lit up with light bulbs. Not even candles. Just
So
light. It's just
it's
like
like a different
it's like
dimension or something.
it's like circuit light. It's like circus light bulbs.
It's supposed to be hell, right?
Huh?
Is it supposed to be hell?
I assume it's. I assume that's what it is.
Right. And then so what's going on? So the Art comes back down.
Stabs Serena with her sword.
Yeah, and then she falls down, right?
Yeah, he pushes her into the pit, and then he throws the sword into the pit with her.
And then she falls into like the water tank.
Yeah, the water tank from the fucking clown cafe.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. I was trying to figure
Yeah,
out what that was. Okay.
yeah. And then fucking and then she's back in the clown cafe and fucking all the kids are fucking bloody and singing
Oh
and
yeah,
fucking
yeah. That's what it was. And
yeah.
there's like a weird like tentacle or something like holding her feet, right? Or her leg. So she
Yeah, yeah,
drowns.
yeah. Yeah, it was like some kind of vine or something.
Yeah, like a squid or something, or I don't know.
Yeah. So then
But she's
she ends
drowning.
up yeah, she ends up drowning completely. She's like, ah. Which the scene was cool because the way she floats was dope,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I
I
thought
like
the
that.
show was off the hook. And then it cuts to Art eating Jonathan's hand. He's
Because
all, he's
he's
all,
like, well, because first he's like trying to wake him up. He's like, come on, dude, like wake up.
yeah, he's
He
all
can't
snapping
do
at
it.
him.
So he's like
He's
he
like,
keeps
fuck
doing
it.
random shit. Yeah.
He's like,
And
fuck it. I'm gonna have me a little snack.
he's like eating his hand, yeah. And then fucking that's when John wakes up and starts freaking out, and and then they kind of wrestle, or he's like
Yeah,
trying to get away and shit.
he fucking bites his ankles.
Yeah, he's biting his ankles and shit. Yeah, he's fucking just torturing the kid.
Yeah, and then we get a
Uh,
cut back to Serena, drowned in the tank,
yeah,
and then fucking what happens? Oh, and then, like, oh fuck it, I don't know how to explain it. It's like she's dead,
yeah.
and then like for some reason, like her sword develops magical strength, and then heals her wounds.
It's like He-Man.
Yeah, yeah, she's all fucking charging up in there. She's a whole
Well, and
charging up.
her wound heals in her stomach.
Yeah, it's all light. It's all her wounds all lit up with fucking light. It's all
Yeah, then that only that part heals up, but the rest of her is like still scarred up and stuff.
yeah. So she ends up being resurrected, and she crawls out of the pit.
Well, she like yeah, she like pulls off the fucking tentacle or whatever it is. Like she rips
Yeah,
it off, and then it makes a weird sound, and then she floats back up. She gets back up, and that's when she goes after Art again
yeah.
with the sword.
Now she has her sword. Yeah,
Yeah, so she's like Xena, warrior princess,
exactly.
but probably hotter. Um,
I don't know, dude. Xena's pretty hot.
yeah, I know. It's
That's
it's
a
a
big,
close call.
that's a big one. That's a big one
Yeah,
right there.
it's I don't know, man. Just yeah, well, we should do a comparison.
Yeah, yeah. We gotta do a comparison for sure. We don't do that.
So
So
good.
then that's when she sneaks up on Art and she immediately just stabs Art directly in his back. And then fucking chops his neck. She just at this point now she just mutilates Art, you know.
Right, right. I love there's like that the right before she takes his head off, um, Art has like that moment where he's like, "Fuck it, go ahead,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he just lets her do it.
Because she chops his neck, cuts his neck, and then slices his throat. And then you get that fucking famous post from Art, like he's ready to fucking go, and then fucking just chops off his fucking head. And then fucking I wrote, and then when his head falls off, it flies off. His little hat's still on.
Yeah,
Again,
I
didn't
love
even
it.
move 1 inch, dude.
That's so good.
Yeah,
Um, so Art's dead, obviously,
yeah.
and then
You
that's when we get the clown girl picking up the head, and she's kind of like,
talking
what
to
it,
it.
talking, and well, not even, yeah, she's like admiring it. And then she walks off with it. And so Sienna and John are just kind of laying there like, what the fuck just happened?
Yep. They're like,
And
what
so,
the hell? Are we,
yeah,
yeah,
so that's the
they're all
closing scene
confused.
of the main part of the movie. And then if you're careful, you'll miss the post credits. So,
We get a post
um,
credit
yeah,
scene
which was
of the
awesome
Miles.
because as you and I both are wrestling fans, we got Chris Jericho popping up on the screen.
Yeah, in the Miles County Psychiatric Hospital.
Yep.
He's fucking
and
security, dude. YTJ. Why he's YTJ
and
security.
and we got the clown girl, or not the clown girl, but the from the dream, the girl that's playing the songs. She's the nurse.
Yeah. Yeah. Eating, and they're fucking eating zombie pie.
From Jericho's wife. Yeah, I call him Jericho, but he's what's his name on there? I wrote his name
I,
down.
I didn't write his name.
Burke. His name is Burke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, so we find out that Victoria from the first one is at the hospital and she's being cared for by the nurse and Jericho.
Yeah.
And her makeup's actually better in this one. Like it's a little more like she probably had surgeries, since then. I should know
Yeah.
because that was only like the next day. So they changed her makeup for some reason, but I think it looks kind of better. Looks a little
This, yeah,
more,
it does.
yeah, it looks a little more
It-
like real.
yeah.
And so she's
More
like,
det- it's more detailed.
yeah, that's what it was. More defined.
Yeah.
And
So she's fucking in the Senate asylum, fucking
yeah,
writing shit on the walls with her vagina blood.
she's like, she just
There's a
keeps
lot
like
of
pushing blood out. Yeah,
there's a lot of vagina blood in this movie.
as there
there's
should
a,
be.
there's a lot of menstrual cycles happening in this movie.
Like shit and blood. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's writing a bunch of shit on the walls. I didn't write it down, but there's a bunch of shit. And
It's the basic shit that she writes
like slut
cunt,
and all that
bitch,
stuff,
pig,
right?
slut.
Yeah,
Yeah, what the
yeah.
shit, the same shit Art writes, and then
Okay,
she writes, and then she draws a heart, and then the heart says Vicky and Art.
right. And then like then she it shows her like pregnant, right?
Yeah, she all of a sudden she gets pregnant. A baby forms
Yeah,
in her belly, and then she's ripping
and
out fucking umbilical cord.
yeah, and then it shows the nurse gonna go check up on. Does she
But
hear it?
before the nurse checks up on her, the nurse is humming the Clown Cafe song.
Yeah.
And then
That's what I
fucking
was.
Chris Jericho in the softest voice. He's like, "What is that?" He's like, "What's that?"
Yeah,
And I said that because like it stood out to me the way he says it. What song is that? And he's like eating pie. And he's all, oh, it's just some song that she was singing and the thing. He's all, huh. And he fucking started. That was it. That was it, dude. And then that's when she goes to check up on Veronica.
and so as she opens the door, she sees Vicky giving birth to the art clown's
Yes,
head.
yeah,
So she's holding her baby, or her love, and her love's head in her arms,
yeah,
and then that's when we see Art looking at her smiling too.
yeah. And Vicky has a fucking lit up eye, and Art's eyes are lit up too.
Yeah, and so like obviously we get our segue into part three. So
That's right. Our ending shot.
yeah, so thoughts on this movie? There's a lot of good shit here. Honestly, I didn't have anything bad to say about this movie.
You know I don't have anything bad to say about this movie,
Yeah,
dude. You know how
honestly,
I feel.
hot take.
You know how I
Hot
feel
take for
about
me.
Terrifier movies. I
I
love
know.
I love them.
Here's a hot take for me. I think this movie is actually better than the first one.
A lot of people say that. Yeah, you're not the only one I heard that from too. It's
Yeah,
good. It's it, you, and it's because there's a story involved into it.
yeah. I think that's why I like it more because like not only do you have art, but you also have like more fleshed out characters, right? So you have
Yeah, yeah.
Sienna, the
Because
brother, the mom.
they're
I like stuff
building
like
a
that.
whole they're building a whole thing now. You know,
Right.
like the first one was simple. You know, it was two girls trying to make it home, and Arch chasing them down. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
this one you got a whole collage of characters. You got a whole build up about her dad foreseeing shit that ties into the first one, and there's a lot of in depth on this movie, and it really builds this movie to the third one, and the third one, obviously is gonna it really builds it to this fucking fourth one that's gonna come out. So the second one is really good.
Yeah. I think it's better than the first, but
It's
it's
2 hours and 22 minutes long.
yes. I had to like pause it a bunch.
It's a long movie.
Yeah, but it fucking worth it, dude. This movie is just fantastic to me.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it besides the teacher assaults. Uh,
Yes.
The underage drinking in his club is out of control, and fucking Barbara. That's
Yeah, no, dude.
it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna rate this though, because like again, I don't have anything really negative to say about this movie, but it's like I don't know if I want to give it a perfect five. Um, but there's so many cool things about. I mean, we had Jericho at the end too. That's fucking amazing.
I
Like
gave
I'm
Terrif.
so
I think I gave Terrifier 1 a solid 4. So I
um,
mean
I'm gonna this one at 4.5.
that's
It's
fair.
like it's like it's like it should be perfect, but I'm a little bit harder on grading. So like I think, man,
I'm gonna give it a 4.
yeah,
I'm
okay,
gonna
I'll give it 4.5 then.
I'm gonna keep it a solid 4.
Because I do feel like it's better than the first, so I'm gonna say it's a 4.5.
I
Yeah,
give
this
this one
fantastic.
a solid 4.
Super. Yeah, this movie fucking cherry on top.
Yeah, loved it.
Um, well, that's it for this one, guys. I don't have anything else to say besides this movie rocks. So,
Yes,
um,
sir.
if you want to follow the account on the IG, we are beyond the underscore ether, or my personal account, Kelly underscore DTO. And the Gmail account is BooCrew2025. Again, at Gmail. What you got?
Dot com. And if
Dot com.
you want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram at Bay Area Creep, and that's all I got.
Because he's always creeping it real.
I'm always creeping on you. Fucking always in the shadows.
With the beer mask. I know, Clarice.
I fucking love this mask. Just
Dude,
I
I'm
had to
liking
get.
this one too.
No, that one's dope. It looks good.
It
I
looks
like
good
that
on
pumpkin.
camera. Yeah,
I like that pumpkin shit. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's all I got, man. But follow us every week. We always got guests and lots of movies to talk about, especially like
yes,
this great ones like these ones. So
yes, sir.
Terrifier 3 will come out eventually.
Catches on. Yeah, that's right.
But again, we'll see you guys when we see you.
Catches on the
Have a
flip
nice day,
side.
everybody. Peace out.
Peace.